What's up, guys? This is Brisket once again, and today we are in my garage. Don't mind the mess. I did clean it up a little bit. The home gym set up again. All this other crap. Look at all those ammo cans to make you some grills, but you gotta like and subscribe and all that good stuff so that I can start giving those things away. But today we're going to be doing some important maintenance on the old Jeep. We're going to be changing out some brake pads and probably restretching the winch on the front there. It hasn't been used in a while, so I want to let that out and then restretch it and rewind it. Make sure that it's back inside the old winch, whatever. But check out this shirt. C4 foundation. I got a little water on it, don't worry. It's like 150,000 degrees today, so I was drinking some water, but anyways, I got it on my shirt. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this foundation a little later in the video. I want to check out this shirt, C4 Foundation, c4foundation.org. But right now, we're going to get that bad boy into the shade because it is freaking hot. And if I don't have to be outside in the sun, I'm not going to be. Anyways, I'm going to turn that bad boy around, get it parked in the garage, get it lifted up, and start changing out some brake pads. Take a look at what all we're going to need. We'll obviously need a jack. I'm going to use some blocks behind the back tires to make sure that they don't start rolling. Rubber mallet, a 15mm, 18mm, a pair of gloves, new brake pads. I'm going to go ahead and change out the rear windshield wiper. We got a C-clamp, we got a tire iron, and we'll go ahead and swap out the old air filter while we're at it. So we're going to start out by cracking loose the front wheels. Before we jack them up, we'll go ahead and crack them loose. Take loose the lock nuts with that lock nut adapter there, and we'll go ahead and get this bad boy up one side at a time. Okay, now we've got the wheel out of the way, and I think I said 18mm earlier. It's a 15 and a 13, so forgive me on that. But the 13 actually goes on the actual caliper bolts on the back, and the 15 I like to use. It'll slide. There's a bolt here. It's in between the bracket and the caliper with a rubber boot, and that just allows the caliper to move back and forth as it needs to. These rotors are actually in pretty good shape. I think I changed these out just a few years ago, so I think we're going to be leaving those alone. We'll wipe them off before we put anything on there, but go ahead and stick your 15 on there. Sometimes you got to scoot this boot back, but stick the 15 on there and throw your 13 on, and we're going to break this bad boy loose. And you can loosen it up a little bit, and then usually it'll come off by hand. The reason I put the 15 on there is because the whole thing will spin sometimes. So we're going to break this one loose too. Sometimes they're difficult. You get dirt and all kinds of stuff built up on there, and they don't want to spin. See, like that. And this one we're just going to loosen. We're not going to take this one off. We'll go ahead and take this bolt all the way off and drop it. Set to the side, and let's swing these out. Now sometimes there's a lot of pressure on the old brakes, and that's when you've got to get a little strong with it. Okay, we just lay it over. So you're going to see your old brakes here, the brake pads, and these, they're like falling apart. But crap like that, it just makes me want to change them out just in case. It makes me nervous. I mean, there's still a lot of pad left on that. But man, it's been really loud, sounding really bad. And because they're so new, it looks like those shims are in good shape. I don't know, guys. You tell me. I'm not a mechanic, but I do a lot of repairs on my own. I mean, they sound like crap. I mean, if you were to ask me what I thought they were going to look like, it's just this alone, by the way that they sound. So, I don't know. You guys tell me. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. Maybe the reason for it sounding that way. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wipe these down. I'm not sure why they sound that way, but I'm going to wipe these down, and then I'll put a C-clamp on here. I'm going to go ahead and compress these because the new brakes are a little bigger than that, and we'll be good to go.
Now, you don't want to put the C-clamp over your brake line, so make sure that it's not up against your brake line and it's up against the back of the piston housing. The last thing you want to do is replace calipers, because you weren't paying attention when you were trying to compress your piston.
So let's look at these. This is the old one compared to the new one, and they're similar. There's barely any. I mean, there's probably 1/8 of an inch difference. But man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and change them out though, just in case. And then with these shims, I'm gonna go ahead and change those out as well. And they give you a package of shims with different sizes and shapes and all that good stuff. So you just find the shim shape that matches your shims and swap them out. Careful these don't fly out and hit you in the eyeball or something. Alright, so these are ready to go. You can even put a little grease on these nipples here. Grease your nipples and then slip them into the, you gotta lube it up before you stick it in. You don't always have to. Sometimes it'll help with the noise to kind of eliminate that. That slips on there real nice and tight like. So we'll go ahead and pop these rear shims off and do the same thing on the back. See, there was a missing shim up top on the back side. That probably has a lot to do with the noise issues that we were having. Pop that bottom one off. Good match for it. This one is for the top, I do believe. And I think we found our culprit. But I mean, it's $30 just to get a new set of brake pads. And the fact is, your brakes are one of the hardest working systems on your Jeep. So, I mean, you really want to make sure that those are good to go. The last thing you want is to be on a trail, or camping, or overlanding, or something, and not have any woe to your go. So you slide that back up. Sometimes you got to push that little plunger in to get that bolt in, and you stick the bolt back. You tighten them up, and that's it. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll pop the hood and go ahead and get the air filter changed out, and then we'll stretch that winch cable. Okay, so it's 1,050 degrees in the garage as well. But got the brakes changed out. Again, I don't know why they sound like crap. I don't know why the back plates are falling off. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why they look like crap. They have plenty of brakes on them, plenty of pad on them, but they sound like hammered dog poop. And they look like crap when I pulled them off because the back plates started falling off. Shims were missing, so maybe that had to do with it. But I mean, 30 bucks for a new set of ceramic plates. Probably a safe investment. So I'm going to go ahead and raise the roof, raise the hood, if I can do it one-handed. Go ahead and raise up the old hood here, and we're going to change out the old air filter. Alright, so we're just going to pop these two clips. There's one there, there's one there, and should be another one there. 3 clips, and they're just pressure clips. Fourth one popped. And sometimes you actually have to take these 2 bolts off. And I'm going to grab, I believe it's a 10mm wrench to take those off. So let me go grab one of those and I'll be right back. It's a 10mm, and you know, everybody has just 1,000 of those laying around. So it only took me an hour to find this one. Nah, it just took a few minutes, but it felt like forever. Take these out. Now this whole intake should be able to lift up, and we can get our new air filter slapped in there. That bad boy's rough. There's a bee right there. Look here. Yeah, it's a rough filter. It's seen better days. So we're going to go ahead and throw this one out. Swap it with a new one. And let her breathe a little. Oh, that one's pretty. So there's a little tab here, a little arrow, and you'll see on this side it's got the space for that tab. So you always know that you got it in the right direction for the best possible seal. Everything gets clipped back nice and tight like. There's no point in having an air filter if the housing isn't on there correctly and tight. There it goes. There that goes. Alright, so we'll throw our 2 bolts back in there, and this air filter will be changed out. And that's all she wrote. Air filter's changed out, new front brake pads are put in, and next we'll take this bad boy outside, and we're going to let out some of the winch line, and I'll show you how to safely rewind your winch. And you need to do that if you're not using it very often. You really need to do that every 30 to 45 days just to make sure that you're keeping it a good safe tension on it, but also a good safe wrap on your winch. And I'll show you how to get that done safely. So forgive the wind and the sun, but I'm going to try to show you one-handed how to change out a wiper blade. It is super simple. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. I think I can, but bear with me. Let me show you how to do it. So you just pull back, and this just pushes. So you gotta hold on to this main part here, and then you can push. See, that came off. There's your groove right there, and that's all it goes into. See if I can do this one-handed. There's a lot of mouth usage here, she said. And so see, this groove right here fits into that groove there. So all you gotta do to change it out, line it up, squeeze it real tight, push it in, boom, brand new wiper blade. Gag 'em. All right, so we're going to, I'm trying out a new mic, so let's see how it works. It's kind of windy out, so I put the windsock on and it kind of sucks. Just mostly because I don't know how to use it. But anyways, we're going to stretch out our line, and if you look over there, there's my truck, and I'm going to hook it to my tow rope, or my tow rings, and then we're going to show you how to safely rewind your winch cable. And so all you want to do to undo it is there's an unlock. Well, this is for a Smittybilt. You've got to unlock, and now it's disengaged. And anytime, I want you to remember, anytime you're using your winch cable to winch or anything like that, it is always safest to either put some weights on your cable or to raise your hood, because if that cable was to ever break, you don't want it going through your windshield. So we're going to raise that up, and I'm gonna extend this all the way over to my truck and hook it up, and then I'll be back to show you how we safely roll it up. Okay, so we've got the cable ran from the Jeep all the way to the tow hook of my truck, and that's a heck of a trek. So this is a remote style winch. So I'm gonna have my wife sit in the Jeep, and she's gonna have it in neutral, and then I'm gonna plug this remote into the top of the winch, and she can use the winch control. Make sure you engage the winch again. She can use the winch control to pull the Jeep. The Jeep's going to be the back pressure, so she's going to pull the Jeep towards my truck, and that's going to safely, with the hood up, either a hood up or a weight on your cable. You need one or the other to do this safely, but that's going to re-spool your cable onto your winch, and you need to do that ever so often. Like I said, every 30 to 45 days if you don't use it all the time. Here's a little sneak peek. Let me show you a little sneak peek of the next project we're doing on the Jeep. I had to buy some sliders because I didn't listen to my spotter, and that's not supposed to be shaped like a banana. So I got some Moabs that I'm going to throw on there probably next week. But anyways, let's go ahead and get in the Jeep, and I will show you how we make it happen. So I'm going to go ahead and hold some tension on it until it gets started, because it's so long that it's lost some tension. So I've got her putting some slight pressure on the brakes, but it is in neutral, and doing a constant pull on the winch, because if for some reason the Jeep starts rolling and that winch line loses a whole lot of slack, then you've defeated the whole purpose of doing this. So make sure you keep some back pressure on that winch. See, that cable's staying nice and tight. Say hi. Hi, Abby. So we're going to get that within maybe just a few feet of the pickup, and I will manually let the rest of that go in and get tight on the D-rings. But again, make sure you do this every 30, 45 days. We've got a beach trip coming up, so I want to make sure that I've got all of this done and the rock sliders on before we go to the beach, because there's a lot of good trails down by Matagorda Bay where we're going to go try to do some sea, not some deep sea fishing, but some bay fishing. So just a real fast closing. Make sure you do your winches. Make sure you're safe about them. I'm not an expert on them, so make sure you do a little bit of studying. Those are just some safety tips that I know of that I like to implement and make sure that my winch is working properly. Also, make sure you check into the C4 Foundation, c4foundation.org. I can't tell you enough how amazing this is. It is science-based to improve the lives of our team members, of our service members. When they come back from battle, when they come back from a war zone, or they come back into the civilian life and meet back with their family, they need to be able to connect. And C4 Foundation is one of those that scientifically helps service members and team members get back with their family, and they connect spiritually, emotionally, physically, all the above, and they grow, they educate, their minds grow, their hearts grow, all of these things. And so it's a very, very neat thing. c4foundation.org. If you would like to contribute, you can be a partner and get one of these sweet C4 Chuck Heavy t-shirts. Hey, in a time where everybody's acting crazy, everybody's looking for a reason to fight, make sure you lead, you stand, you educate, you grow. There's a lot of very honest conversations that need to happen on both sides of the aisle right now. And quite frankly, everybody on both sides needs to have a little more emotional maturity and integrity so that they can be honest. And I would recommend a couple of different books for everybody to read. I'd say Sovereignty by Ryan Mickler and Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink would be some great starting points. But hey, make sure you are the solution. You live your life that you can be better. You can help others. You can stand for others. You can defend others. Task force unity. That's what it's all about. We need more unity so that we can stand, learn, lead, defend. See you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe.